Hi, welcome to Bookie. Today we will unlock the book In Defense of Food, An Eater's Manifesto. Many people may be surprised by the title of this book. Food is something we grab and eat without a second thought, so why do we need to defend it? If you have doubts, then perhaps you have some misconceptions about food. Almost everything we know about diet nowadays comes from media reports and claims made by dietitians. Food is broken down into individual nutrients, such as fat, calcium, and protein. If you ask anyone on the street, they can quickly provide their opinions about food. For example, which foods are nutritious, which we should eat more often correspondingly, and which foods have no nutritional value and should thus be avoided. We are so accustomed to seeing all foods from a nutritional perspective that we wind up with many misconceptions about food. The book's author, Michael Pollan, details the origin of food and the problems of modern foods through years of research on the human diet. In this book, Pollan points out that our current eating habits are generally influenced by nutritionism. What he means is that we are accustomed to obtaining nutrients from synthetic foods and ignore the importance of nutrients from natural food. This, coupled with the long-term consumption of chemicals, which are added in processed foods, has dramatically increased the risk of cardiovascular disease, cancer, obesity and chronic diseases. With regard to eating healthily, the healthy foods championed by many nutritionists and food manufacturers today are likely to be disproved by other claims tomorrow. As a result, most people either feel confused or have limited knowledge of diet. The seemingly simple question of what to eat has become increasingly complex. It was in this context that Pollan decided to come to the defense of food, so that we can truly understand our diet by eating the right foods to enhance our physical and mental well-being. Next, we'll explain the book in 3 parts. Part 1, The Rise of Nutritionism. Part 2, The Industrialization of Food. Part 3, How to Eat Right. Part 1, The Rise of Nutritionism. When we walk into a supermarket, most of what we see are neatly packaged food products. From the outer packaging of these foods, we can see the nutritional constituent of these foods, such as fat, protein, and so on. Many people believe that they can eat more healthily by carefully reading the nutrition facts label on these food items. But is that the case? If not, then what is the cause of our misunderstanding about food? To truly understand, we have to explore the rise of nutritionism. What is nutritionism? The term nutritionism was coined by an Australian scientist, George Screenes. He believed that we should understand and engage with food and our bodies in terms of their nutritional and chemical constituents and requirements, the assumption being that this is all we need to understand. In other words, nutritionism advocates that nutrients are the key to understanding food. Nutritionism is not a science but an ideology. It is like a particular belief or hypothesis that is commonly shared yet untested. In the past, we could make sense of what we were ingesting by looking at the food itself, but now we need to look at the complicated nutrition facts on packaged foods to learn what nutrients we are about to absorb into our bodies. Still, what exactly these nutrients stand for and how good they are for our health depends on a debate which is still raging amongst experts. Nutritionism also proposes that diet is all about maintaining and promoting good health, sorting nutrients into healthy and unhealthy or good and bad categories. Each time a nutrient is defined as a healthy component, it often makes quick gains in popularity, then like an unwanted gift, it's abandoned and dietary scientists move on to the next exciting prospect. For instance, some scientists argued that protein is the most crucial nutrient in our consumption, thus leading to a plethora of processed protein foods, such as high-protein powdered milk. But simultaneously, another school of scientists pointed out the destructive properties of proteins and introduced new nutrients as replacements, such as carbohydrates. With this in mind, it's likely that other theories would later disprove this claim and replace carbohydrates with different nutrients. Nutritionists often revisit past claims in an either-or argument to oust evil nutrients and promote savior nutrients. It's safe to say that the entire history of modernist nutrition shows a quest to seek out major nutrients. Moreover, nutrition